Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey Will, how you doing?
I'm great. Congratulations on this latest project of yours. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I was going to ask you, Chris, you've been doing some very interesting things on TV, creating these wonderful historical crime epics, between Narcos, Godfather of Harlem, and now, Hotel Cocaine, the list goes on. I was just curious, is there sort of like a goal or a thesis you're hoping, you're trying to achieve with, this series of projects, sort of like a specific kind of exploration of, crime within certain communities or anything like that?
Well, they always say write what you know. But no, quite honestly, I'm attracted to I'm attracted to crime genre in general, and in particular, exploring different. Listen, every country, every city, every state has its own gang lords and crime, and frankly, the stories can be redundant and all sort of similar. People end up either rich or dead or in jail. So here, I think what we try to do is find ways to explore crime dramas, which personally I love to watch, and find that little thing that takes it off center. So, for instance, in Godfather of Harlem, it's Bumpy Johnson's relationship with Malcolm X, and thus it's a show about organized crime and civil rights. Here with Hotel Cocaine, well, with Narcos, it was we went and shot in Colombia, and I went to Netflix and I said, I think the Narcos should speak in Spanish. I think it's BS if they're speaking in English like we've seen in previous movies. It's an automatic, like, I don't believe it. And surprisingly, Netflix was in its infancy and they didn't know any better. And they said, oh, sure, yeah, yeah, I'm speaking Spanish. And so, Guillermo and I collaborated on episodes of that and also many episodes of Godfather of Harlem. So when it came to Hotel Cocaine, to me, he was the perfect person to direct the pilot and also to sort of oversee the production in general because we were going to shoot in Latin America and his contacts there are extensive. But for us in Hotel Cocaine, it was transposing or combining the violence and danger of a nascent drug war that involved Floridians, Colombians, and Cubans with the kind of me decade, which is represented by the character of Burton, the navel gazing, the TM, the stuff that to me was kind of amusing and you don't really see in a crime drama very often. So it's always about taking these things and putting them on their ear just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's very interesting. And Guillermo, these particularly the first few episodes, introducing a wide range of these colorful characters. And, as a director, I mean, even down to directing Hunter S. Thompson, who's, one of my favorite writers. I mean, I couldn't believe that. I was like, I kept double taking and I was curious what that was like for you. I mean, like Chris said, I know you've been directing projects like these, but I mean, directing someone playing Hunter S. Thompson, I mean,
Well, he was just
describe
exactly
what
like
that
him.
was
Let's put
like.
it that way.
He was exactly like Hunter S. Thompson for us,
Yeah.
you might imagine.
Yeah. Oh, is
Navigating
he?
the day.
What we did was, Guillermo probably wouldn't spill his trade secret, but like we had three cameras rolling at him at once because you sort of never knew what he was going to do, and we wanted to make sure we captured him in every angle. It's also Hunter is played by Johnny Ventimiglia, who I went to high school with by chance, and who
Oh,
was
wow.
Artie Bucco. He was Artie Bucco in The Sopranos, so it's
Right,
a
right, right.
yeah, that's really fine actor, very fine
Yeah,
actor.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, I mean, Guillermo, how did and I love the pacing of, the pilot episode. It's a lot of fun. Of course it's dark, but how did the subject matter directing how did it compare to, these past projects that you've done? Was it that much more challenging, kind of finding that balance between the humor and the crime, or maybe not?
No, I think the challenge is to keep the story going. So it's
Yeah.
I'm a filmmaker that tries to use the film language as much as possible,
Yeah.
and that allows the camera to tell the story as well.
Right.
And this is a show that needs that. So it needs first of all the opportunity of recreating the world in an exacerbated version of it and be able to navigate it. So the imagery, the cinematography is a very strong storytelling tool in the show that allows then the drama to really take place. And for that we have we had a group of artists that was able to recreate and put together the space with an incredible imagination. And you really, it's like you really drop yourself in a parachute and in the best possible version of what the 70s were, no? So
Nice.
better than it was. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then you see it from looking back with nostalgia and wanted to remember those times and what it was like to be there
The
in
sex,
those
the
times.
drugs, the disco. He was always saying to me regarding film language, would you cut the damn dialogue? There's too much dialogue. Get the dialogue out of there
Oh
so I
my
can just
God.
move my camera. And I
Yeah.
said, well, so it was a constant struggle.
Oh, well,
We despite we fight, we get along, eh? Don't
Yes, we
worry
do.
about it. So
It's a very nice
it's
combination.
a good combo.
yeah, of course. Do you, Chris, do you have your sights set on perhaps your next project sort of in
Yo, yo,
this?
yo, yo,
Uh,
yo, yo,
I'm
yo.
not sure I'm allowed to
Not so
mention
much.
this.
We're
Is
not
what
allowed to talk about those things.
well, there's one. It's in the. It came out because I accidentally said it previously, but we're interested in doing the Westies, which is the Irish gang that. It's kind of the New York City's version of Peaky Blinders, which took
Oh,
place in
cool.
the late 70s, early 80s in New York City in an area called Hell's Kitchen. So, that's something that's that's down the pike. Right now, we're concentrating on Hotel Cocaine,
Of
and
course.
we hope people enjoy it.
Of course. I think they will. I can't wait for everyone else to see it. And yeah, it was great. So thank you for sharing more about it and good luck with everything. It was nice to meet you guys.